We live in a culture obsessed with the cinematic montage. We want the radical transformation, the overnight success, the sudden epiphany that changes everything in a blinding flash of inspiration. We are sold the idea that massive success requires massive action. If you want to lose weight, build a business, or write a novel, the prevailing narrative insists that you need to upend your life, summon Herculean willpower, and grind until you collapse. But let's be brutally honest. That approach rarely works. Motivation is a fickle friend. It is a surge of adrenaline that will inevitably abandon you when it is raining outside, when you are exhausted from a long day at work, or when the initial excitement of a new project wears off. Reality doesn't operate in montages. It operates in minutes, hours, and unremarkable daily routines. This is where the profound truth of atomic habits comes into play. Popularized by James Clear, the concept is rooted in a simple, unsexy, yet incredibly powerful premise. Real transformation isn't the result of a single, monumental shift, but the compounding effect of hundreds of tiny, seemingly insignificant decisions made consistently over time. The mathematics of 1%. To understand atomic habits in action, we must first accept the math of 1%. Human brains are remarkably bad at grasping compounding growth. We tend to think linearly. If we put in a little effort, we expect a little result immediately. If you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better by the time you are done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you will decline nearly down to zero. What starts as a tiny win or a minor setback accumulates into something much more. Imagine an airplane taking off from Los Angeles, bound for New York. If the nose of the plane is shifted just 3.5 degrees south prior to takeoff, a change of just a few feet, the plane will not land in New York. It will land in Washington, D.C. Such a small shift is barely noticeable on the runway, but magnified across the expanse of the United States, it completely alters the destination. Your life is the same. A slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination. Making a choice that is 1% better or 1% worse seems insignificant in the moment, but over the span of moments that make up a lifetime, these choices determine the difference between who you are and who you could be. The trap of goal setting. One of the most candid realities of self-development is that goals are inherently flawed. We are taught to set specific, actionable goals. I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to make $1 million. But consider this. Every Olympian wants to win the gold medal. Every candidate applying for a job wants the position. If successful and unsuccessful people share the exact same goals, then the goal itself cannot be what differentiates the winners from the losers. The differentiator is the system. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. If you are a writer, your goal might be to write a book. Your system is the writing schedule you follow each morning. If you spend all your time focusing on the goal, you will constantly feel like a failure until you achieve it. Furthermore, achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. It is a temporary fix. Atomic habits focus on building the system. It is about falling in love with the process rather than the outcome. When you optimize the daily system, writing 200 words a day, doing 10 push-ups every morning, reading 1 page of a book before bed, the goal practically takes care of itself. The valley of disappointment. If atomic habits are so effective, why do so many of us fail to stick with them? Because of a phenomenon known as the plateau of latent potential, or what is more commonly felt as the valley of disappointment. It is profoundly frustrating to eat a salad, run 3 miles, and step on the scale the next morning to see the exact same number. It is discouraging to practice guitar for a week and still struggle to play a basic chord progression. Because we do not see tangible, immediate results, we slide back into our old routines. We expect progress to be linear, but the hallmark of any compounding process is that the most powerful outcomes are delayed. When you start building a new habit, you are essentially storing up potential. The work is not wasted. It is just being accumulated. Think of an ice cube sitting in a room that is 25 degrees. The room slowly heats up. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees. Nothing happens. Then, at 32 degrees, the ice begins to melt. A 1-degree shift, seemingly no different from the temperature increases before it, unlocked a massive change. You must trust the system enough to push through the valley of disappointment. The breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions, which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. Identity, the ultimate driver of habit. The most practical application of atomic habits lies not in what you want to achieve, but in who you want to become. True behavior change is identity change. You might start a habit because of motivation, but the only reason you will stick with one is that it becomes part of your identity. Anyone can convince themselves to visit the gym or eat healthy once or twice, but if you don't shift the belief behind the behavior, then it is hard to stick with long-term changes. Consider two people trying to quit smoking. When offered a cigarette, the first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." It sounds reasonable, but this person still believes they are a smoker who is trying to be something else. The second person declines by saying, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." It is a small difference, but the statement signals a shift in identity. To put atomic habits into action, stop focusing entirely on the outcome. Instead, ask yourself, who is the type of person that could get the outcome I want? Asterisk, want to write a book? Become the type of person who never misses a day of writing, even if it's just one sentence. Want to get fit? Become the type of person who doesn't miss workouts, even if you just show up to stretch for 5 minutes. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. Forging the future, one small step at a time. Putting atomic habits into action requires us to abandon our egos and our desire for instant gratification. It asks us to look at the messy, mundane reality of our daily lives and find the smallest possible friction point to improve. It requires stacking new habits onto existing ones, like doing squats while brushing your teeth, or reading while drinking your morning coffee. Success is not a monumental event. It is a daily practice. It is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations.